There he is.
Yep, there he is. On it.
Easy does it. You're no rock.
Got some powdered donuts, leftover cold pizza. We're freaking dialed. And we got the cleanup crew for all your river emergencies.
No. I'm not awake yet.
Your rod is right there behind you. And I've been kind of riding right out here in the middle. Beautiful. Come on, baby. Hard telling, not knowing.
Oh my God, come on. Hey, oh, there he is.
Oh my God.
Bro. He did.
That looked like a fish.
There he is.
Yep, there he is.
What is that though?
Might be a cutty.
It looks
Or
like
a jack. It ain't pulling like a cutty.
Looks like a big cutty to me.
Nope. Springer jack. Well, there we are, guys. That's what starts our morning. Jack, spring Chinook. Bye-bye. So a handful of the jacks that I've killed this year, which I haven't been really killing a whole lot of jacks, but the ones that I have killed this year haven't had the highest quality meat. They're not like a full-grown adult spring Chinook, so we let them swim. The first one was like right there.
Yeah.
Oh, 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 he's still there. Oh, oh.
Come on.
The longest bite ever.
Dude, let's put one of those on our hook. These fish definitely like chemically engineered donuts. I know it.
100%.
Let me get one of those, dude. Raspberry fill. You know how long it's been since I freaking have eaten one of these?
Dude, I can't even remember.
Delicious.
I looked at him in the gas station this morning. I was like, those are going down the pipe tonight. This morning.
Nothing like a good old sugar high in the morning.
Those hit just right. Can't just have one. Donut bite.
Or not. The donut bite didn't work.
Oh, Marlin. Holy shite.
What was that?
I don't know. It's hard telling, not knowing. Looked pretty good though. Looks like a spot where a fish should be sitting.
Oh, little salmon, bite my hook. You're under. He's got it. He's got it. He's got it. I saw him eat it. Oh my God.
Dude.
Oh my God. I saw him eating it. I'm like, no, of course.
Love that.
I was watching your bobber and I was like, oh God, of course.
So we're dealing with a lot of low water conditions, and sometimes these fish will sit in a hole for so long and they'll get, they'll see dozens and dozens and dozens of bait, and sometimes they'll just pick at it. They won't really just engulf the bait. When we're seeing those da-dup, 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 da-dup. It's just them just barely chomping on it. They're not even really like putting it all the way into their mouth. They're just barely getting that bait and just barely picking at it. And when it goes all the way down is usually when they have it all the way in their mouth, right? And I don't know, just sometimes these fish have this certain way of getting away from the hook. And that seems to be what's happening. They're just being really shy.
We've heard that from a couple other anglers on the water today too, so.
Got some concoctions going here. And try a couple of things. See if we can get them to go. Let's do a sand shrimp head this time. Ooh, still kind of crawling. Trying to get me still.
Tasty. This is getting munched.
I think I'm gonna try just the bare sandy.
I think you would have got that last one if you would have been on it, because dude, it was like swimming upriver with it. There he is.
It's a low water thing.
Dang it.
I just don't want to commit.
Bro, look at this. I don't know, man. Are those springers or small? Like, not a small. Oh my god!
No way.
I had him, dude.
Oh.
I literally let him eat it that time. Like, damn it, dude. Did you see it load up? Yeah. Yeah, he was there. I had him for a second.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, look at my bait.
Gone.
He just... Yeah, guys, I think that might have been a smolt. You know what I'm saying?
Let us know in the comments. What do you guys think? Are we getting smolt bit? Or is that an adult springer in there? Or a couple? Let us know. Comment below. Dude, come on.
He's getting bit too. He's about to get one. Oh, he's got him. Got him.
You're snapping.
Oh, it's a nice one too.
Get in there. Nice fish.
There he is. There he is. Got him? Yep.
I am so fired up right now. I'm just holding it back a little bit.
You didn't see it, did you?
Oh, I did. But I was like right in the middle of a net. Nice. Yeehaw. Oh, my pre-bled. Well, we've been grinding for well over half the day. Put the boat in probably way too early, but we got it done. Finally at 11:30. These fish do bite all day, folks. But no, we've been grinding pretty hard for this fish and ended up getting them on a good old bobber and egg.
Dude, he was eating that for so long.
That was the hook set I meant to get on the other one too.
He's definitely, I think, clip. Yep.
Oh yeah. Bonk, bonk. Oh! Look at the meat. Amount of meat.
I have some memories when I was super young.
That is insane. And another one. Just another beautiful Columbia River tributary spring Chinook. All right, guys, we're gonna go over the float setups that we've been using today to catch these springers. I prefer a bait casting setup myself. I have a lot of clients that kind of shy away from it, but once they pick it up and they actually use it, they love it. It's much easier. It's a one-handed operation. There's no flipping the bail over and over and over. It's all just right there in your right or left hand in one hand. So basically what we're going to start with is I like to use a little bit heavier rod for a bait caster. I know some people will use 6 to 12s, 8 to 12s, but I like to use a 10 to 20. I like to really get that hook in them when I set the hook. So this is the SST 1062M, 10.6, 10 to 20, and it's paired with the Okuma Komodo SS 273. Great reel, really comparable to some of the other high-end reels on the market. It does have an internal braking system, as you can see here. I'll crack this open, and that right there, folks, those are your internal brakes. And what that does is that helps keep you from backlashing. It makes it to where you can really just rip it out there, and right before it touches the water, you just touch your thumb on the spool. It kind of lays all your gear out, and it fishes really well. And from there, we have a 50-pound braid, and then off of that, I run a Top Shot bumper of either 25 or 30-pound Maxima. And then from there, we slide on these little egg stoppers. And I always run two, and I can't remember what weight, but I think I run the 8 to 12s. They make them in a couple different weight ratings, and I always have just had the best of luck with the 8 to 12 pound rating. And then sliding down the setup, we have our little bobber stop bead, and then we have our corky, and then our bobber. And I run an 1.25 ounce bobber. What I like to use on the bottom end to kind of protect that is it's a buzz bomb stop. So you can find them on Amazon. I think they do 50 packs for relatively cheap. And then I run another little bobber stop bead down below that. And what that does is that just protects the bottom of that bobber from going up against that line, because sometimes if you don't run this setup, it'll bang the bottom of this bobber, and it can sometimes crack your bobber. Anyways, sliding down to the inline weight, I have a 1 ounce inline, and then coming down here, this is a 17-pound, I call it a bumper leader, to a couple of weights, and then down to a barrel swivel, necked down to my leader, the business end. This is a 15-pound fluorocarbon. You can size up, you can go 20 pound, you can go 17, you can even size down and go to 12. But I've found 15 pound works really well for high water, low water. Doesn't really matter. I can just tie a bunch of leaders at that 15 pound rating, and I can usually make them last all season. Like I said, good for high water, good for low water, doesn't really matter. And then down to the heavy business, I like to run our Mustad 4-aught fine wire bait hook. And I can't tell you how many fish I've landed on these things, and where I probably have no business landing them, these hooks just freaking pin these fish so good. I can't think of a better bait hook that I've ever used, and I've used quite a bit over the years. That's kind of our basic bait caster setup. And then switching to our spin cast setup, I like to use the Guide Select Pro. And this is the 992M, so it's a 9'9", 8 to 17, and these can throw up to 3/4 to a 1 ounce weight. And what I like to run is pretty much the same thing. Let's start with the reel first. So this is the ITX CB 4000 series. I've really started to like these reels. Super high quality, really light for the size, and a great return rate. I don't recall, I think it's a 6 to 1 or 6 to 1 line retrieval. And then same thing, 50-pound braid, 25 to 30-pound bumper. And then same thing, little bit smaller bobbers. I like to run the 7/8. I like to run the 7/8 ounce bobbers. Same thing, bobber stop bead, corky, bobber, buzz bomb stop, and another bead. Down to a 3/4 ounce inline. And then same thing, I don't really change anything down here. This is a 17-pound bumper leader, a couple of weights, barrel swivel, 15-pound fluorocarbon, 4-aught addicted Mustad fine wire bait hook. So not much changes between the spin cast to the bait caster, just basically the length and weight rating of the rod. And this, I mean, both of these rods are really, really good for salmon and steelhead. I personally will use them both for both species. I can't really think of a reason why I would use one over the other during, you know, a certain season, other than the 10 to 20 has a little bit more meat to it, has a little bit more backbone, can really put the wood to the salmon a little bit more. Yeah, those are our basic float setups. All right, guys, so moving on to the baits, the business end, what we're going to put on the hook to actually hook these springers. It's always good to have multiple types of bait, whether it be eggs, sand shrimp, coon shrimp. I know a lot of people use sardine chunks, tuna chunks, whatever you can really get your hands on that's meaty that a springer would like. They really like live sand shrimp. That is a perfect example of a live sand shrimp. He's still kicking a little bit. Not super lively, but live enough. And then what I like to do is when they kind of get a little bit more dead, is I'll cut the tails off and just use the tails. And then over here we've got the coon shrimp. And this is a little bit bigger of a coon shrimp than I would use unless it was super high dirty water. I like to use a little bit smaller of a coon shrimp. And then of course you have your eggs, and these are actually fresh cured springer eggs. Super tight berries. They are super tiny, but they are really nice to have. They last a long time on the hook because they're so immature. They're really tight and they fish really, really well. So let's go through actually baiting one of these things. One more thing before we go to actually baiting the hook. If you come springer fishing and you only have one type of bait, you could seriously be shooting yourself in the foot. Having multiple types of eggs, sand shrimp, coon shrimp can really pay dividends. You know, some days they don't want a certain cure. They want another cure. So me personally, I mean, I have literally, let's check out the old bait cooler. Literally have 1, 2, 3, 4 different types of eggs, 3 different types of coon shrimp. I've got our Assassin's blend, and then I also have the purple millennial coon shrimp, which the purples are really nice. Here, let me show you one of these coon shrimp that's actually kind of more of an appropriate size coon shrimp in my liking. Like, you can check out the comparison. It's a little bit smaller, and I'd even go even smaller than that. Small coon shrimp, usually for the win. But anyways, it's always nice to have multiple types of bait, multiple different cures, different coon shrimp, different sand shrimp, different tuna, different sardine, different mackerel, different squid. I mean, there's 100 types of baits that you can use for these springers. They are meat eaters for sure. So let's go over actually hooking up one of these baits. So what I like to do with a full sand shrimp, if I'm gonna fish a full sand shrimp, I like to go through this part. It's kind of the softer shell part. I'll hook it up there, and I'll slide this up the line. Can kind of twist through there. It's going to tear off some of these eggs if they're female, but then that's just kind of sliding up and down your line right here. And what I'll do is I'll take my beta eggs, I'll open up that bait loop. I like to go through the skein a couple of times. Kind of make yourself a nice little ball right there. And if you really want to get in depth with it, you can put another chunk of sardine or tuna on there. What I like to do sometimes is I'll put a whole coonie on. You can use just a coonie tail. You can use the coonie head. Whatever tickles your fancy. I'll go through this coon shrimp. I'll just kind of wrap that whole thing around there. Kind of get a good portion of that thing. Sometimes it'll slide down, but this coon shrimp is pretty tough. You can kind of hold your thumb on it. Kind of help hold that thing on. Then you end up with this concoction that can be deadly. So you got your sand shrimp laying over the top, you got your beta eggs, and then you have a coon shrimp or whatever meat you want to put on the bottom of those eggs, kind of complement everything. And sometimes the concoction gets them, sometimes bare eggs gets them, sometimes a bare coonie will get them, sometimes a bare sand shrimp will get them. You know, you never know what they want, and sometimes it's really good just to have a lot of bait cover your bases, have a hot cure, have a sweet cure, have a bunch of different cures. It doesn't hurt. Another important note to take away from this bait is look at the way this bait is set up. A lot of that bait is on the shank of the hook. So when this fish bites, that hook point is exposed. You want to make sure that your hook point is exposed as possible. Because if your hook point is covered up, a lot of times you won't get the best hookup unless you really rip on that bait and rip that hook set, because it just won't, it doesn't have a clear path of penetration. So I like to always make sure that that hook point is free and clear. All right, so now I'm gonna rig up just a bare sand shrimp. So with these, you know, depending on the size of your sand shrimp, you can either start up here or right behind the head, but with this size, I'll go right in the middle of this, kind of like what we were doing to slide it on top of the beta eggs. Slide that through, and we'll just get that hook point to pop out of just barely like the center of his head. Just like so. What I'll do here, sometimes you have to do a couple of these, but with this size, you can probably get away with one little half hitch. That kind of just stands that bait up. Nice little curl at the top of the tail, and once again that hook point is exposed. So yeah, I mean that's basically your basic bait setups for these spring Chinooks. And you can try a bunch of different bait combinations. Like I was saying earlier, you can do live sand shrimp, eggs, live sand shrimp, and any other combination of meat. Anything, like I was saying, mackerel, freaking squid, sardine, everything. There's so many different combinations you can do, and you just never know what they want unless you give it all to them. So make sure to have it all.
We good? Get it tight here. Well, there you have it, everyone. Another amazing day with Mr. Harmson. Today, the goal was to get Harmson some fish. He's been guiding every single freaking day for what, dude? Like 30 days? Yeah, almost 30 days straight. So he's got to tug on some springers today. So he's taking home a couple, and I just suck, so I didn't hook anything. Anyway, guys, I just want to say thank you guys so much for watching our content. Don't forget, we got Jason's information down below if you guys want to get out and do any fishing with him. He does all sorts of different tributary stuff in the drift boat, in the raft. And I heard a little birdie coming soon. He might even have a big boat. So thanks so much for tuning in, everyone. Until next time, we'll see you on the river.